This video is graciously sponsored by City of Mist, a tabletop RPG that lets you play normal people with familiar lives, living in a dystopian city who suddenly awaken mythical powers that they control. Divided into 2 core handbooks, a core expansion, a full adventure, and a bunch of DLC including other districts not mentioned in this video, it's got a lot to explore. The player's guide has hundreds of inspiring ideas and suggestions, but the MC toolkit is my favorite. Having segments ranging from creating and running the game, to types of enemies that you can make, to campaign writing, it's great for making stories from scratch. So go check it out, please support the creators and the channel. Enjoy the video. Hey, I really like City of Mist, so I'm gonna keep talking about it at random points, and nothing's more random than something that happens twice in a row. If you don't know, City of Mist is a game where normal people get magic powers granted to them by myths and stories. So history, comics, TV, and myths can give themselves to an average Joe, and suddenly a delivery man gets the powers of the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. I could probably make a 3-hour-long video rambling about different aspects of the game, but one that really shines in the MC guide are the districts. You can use these as inspiration, you can grab them and put them in your own games, or fully explore the core city itself. My friends and I actually started with a homemade city, with each district as like a compact cultural center of the world. I also wanted to make an entire City of Mist where the city is just this massive abandoned theme park, with each district being different themes. I mean, having real superheroes live in a world with statues built to honor their myths that they embody. That'd be really cool. But enough about my own cities, because the core one is amazing, and let's get started. The first place that you think of in a giant city is the vibrant downtown. On the surface, it's a huge glowing heart that never stops beating, full of neon lights, packs of roaming tourists getting conned by street vendors, and bizarre performers. Under the skin, it's 100 different criminals running their operations in this spaghetti rat race where everyone is fighting to offer something that everyone else wants. In the abstract, it's a living force of consumerism. Tourists show up to see their fill. Vendors here offer as much as they can sell, and 100,000 distractions are just around the corner to either devour your senses or be devoured by you. Another great thing about districts is their places of interest. Just below downtown we have the subway station that feels like a D&D dungeon full of dark dwelling rifts. I'd imagine things like Nosferatu, chthonic deities, minotaurs, ghost subways, and other unsettling oddities live down here. Then we have the theaters for plays and movies, where you could involve stuff like The Ring or The King in Yellow. We also have hidden alleyways with dark dealings and weird liminal realities, where time might change on a whim. And then we have the corporate buildings. One mythos here that I'm not really familiar with is a skyscraper that rises above all the others, but is impossible to find the entry to. That's awesome. Then we have the blue-collar residential district. You know, the place where 90% of us live. 1-bedroom apartments packed with families trying to get by, working 3 jobs at the same time and still struggling to pay rent. Here we have petty criminals, rampant drug organizations that help people survive by killing them slowly, with screaming kids under the daylight and a symphony of gunshot-riddled sirens at night. It's a prison disguised as freedom. But the lie of freedom is something that breeds hope, the thing that frees people. So we have a mix of mythos here, ranging from low-life nobodies who are destined for greatness, to heroes of the people, and to scummy crime lords or rampant kidnappers. Around this area, we have places like public parks, which could hold druids, police stations full of cash and drugs, small businesses and private researchers working out of their own apartments, and diners where people can find a semblance of peace. Then we have one of my favorite districts, the Old Quarter. This is the cobblestone birthplace of the entire city, now left devoid of everything but its own history. The book states that the mist, the thing that gives and hides magic powers, is the thinnest here. It serves as a small community of educated artists, historians, and elders who are mostly interested in fostering newly awakened people. So if you get a mythos, or become touched, you would come here and learn what that power means to you. We also have a massive amount of artifacts, which are a type of mythos. I should really make a video on each mythos. I don't know why I did this one first. But anyway, the artifacts are family heirlooms, like lockets that have guardian spirits in them, or they're stockpiled in the museum. In addition to the museum, we have the university, the apex of research centers. You could explore a story with zombie breakouts, biological anomalies, dimensional portals, and what have you in this place. We also have the cobbled main road, freckled with performers and antique shops during the day, but offers an almost otherworldly aura at night. Careful where you step. You might not be in the same reality if you take a wrong turn. Then the historic residence, with old houses rarely occupied by anything but memories, and the ruins. Ruins entail broken churches, abandoned buildings, and the remnants of natural disasters. I can think of 100 different things to populate the ruins alone. Oh yeah, they took a homeless lady and they gave her Baba Yaga and she lives here, and that's also really cool. Further near the edge of town is the expansive industrial zone, where half of the buildings are abandoned by everything but squatters and raves, and the other half pump out never-ending streams of pollution in the name of production. Countless miles of refineries, production lines, and metal pipes are the hallmark of this district. It feels lifeless because it's a proverbial badlands. Even the mist gave up on hiding things here, so people's powers and monstrous creations just roam free, in the sight of everyone. Well, if there were anyone here. You can put things like engineers, master craftsmen, arsenals, pit fights, raves, refugees, mechanical armies, mutant prowlers, and criminal warehouses just about anywhere here. Those are the primary districts, but there are a few extras listed that I think are equally important. First on the docket are ethnic boroughs, Chinatowns, Little Italies, Middle Eastern bazaars, etc. Here you can explore more diverse or narrow stories, where cultural mythologies manifest in cultural centers. I could see Chinese deities serving as small-time doctors and fortune-tellers, or Irish Seelie, Fae, and satyrs running pubs, and the treasure trove of Hindu lore that no American was allowed to learn about. Then we have my second favorite district, the Beachfront. The place where the turbulent ocean meets the bustling city, right between both realities, is a place unlike any other for me. The ocean churns up sand that's been there since the dawn of time, that constantly surfaces and recovers lost relics. Harpies, sirens, mermaids, krakens, dragon turtles, Atlanteans, and even old gods like the good Lord Cthulhu are just the beginning of mythos and stories that you can tell here. Ghost pirates fighting a kraken. Imagine that. Then we have the impossibly darker version of the blue-collar housing, the crime-ridden slum. If you want to tell small-scale stories that are born and reach their crescendo in a matter of days, among hundreds of others that happen at the same time, where guns are fired in the same cadence as a bag of popcorn, you tell that story here. Then there's the inverse, the gated community, where fear-mongering and good luck swell to the point of flooding its residents. Few people have mythoi here, only because they don't want anything other than a safe and boring life. When you live in a world that's overly defended, you start to believe that everything outside your walls is deserving of those defenses, so you get scared of nothing, perpetually. And lastly, the border between the city and nothing, the outskirts of town. The city has a narrative rule, where anything beyond the city is too vague and unimportant to ever be explored. But the border between that nothing and the city where stories are told is suburbia, a watered-down version of all the other residentials. Kids run around, housewives tend to meals, and old people watch the news. In this district, if you could call it that, we have some variant locations. Places like the rundown motel that you can escape to, or old, decrepit mansions with dead and living hosts, or an agricultural village that's owned by the city. A good old-fashioned fantasy. So that's the city, from top to bottom. Go write down some notes, reimagine some districts, or grab the book and flood each district with your own details and characters. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your city.